preparing for the Ignite conference this year, I stretched myself a little bit by looking into Facebook and asking for speaker names. And one of the speakers that I found was Alexis Lawson. And on today's podcast, she shared with us her story, her vision, what she's planning to speak about at the conference, and how she's planning to bring her mission of sobriety and inclusivity to our event in March. You don't want to miss this episode. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening where you are. This is Kara Kirsch, founder of the Ignite Women in Business podcast. We're so excited to be here in cold Omaha, Nebraska today. And we have really taken some time to start to talk to the people who are going to be participating in the 9th annual Ignite Women in Business Conference, which is March 3rd, 2026. If you don't have your tickets, you'll want to get on LinkedIn, find me, and you'll be able to find a place to buy your tickets. Today, we're actually excited to have one of our speakers with us today who will be hosting a session. And so I'm excited to welcome Alexis to the podcast. Hi.
Hey, thank you.
How you doing?
I'm good. Yourself?
Good. We're so glad to have you today. Have you share a little bit about your story and what drew you to say yes to participate in the conference?
Okay, for sure. I'm grateful
So
to be here.
tell us a little bit about you. What's your story?
So a little bit about me. Background, born and raised here in Omaha, Nebraska. Childhood was a little rocky. I got into some bad things early on, the age of 12, and then that pivoted me into a lot of other troubles that I had into my adult years. I got sober just recently, about 8.5 years ago, and I just started to change my life over and starting to get into purpose work and finding ways to help and give back to the community, and just been up ever since I've started to change my mindset.
Yeah.
So that's the quick version.
That is the quick version. Well, are you from Omaha?
Born and raised.
Okay. And is your family here, or are you the only one here?
Everyone's here.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what's your favorite thing about Omaha?
Favorite thing about Omaha? I like the food.
Oh, me too.
I like the food.
I
I
love
go out of
food.
town and I'm kind of disappointed.
Yeah. I love that. What's your go-to right now?
Right now it's Manjas.
Manja. Yeah.
The north.
I love their catering. It's very reasonably priced, and you always get a lot.
You do.
And I love their Sicilian sauce. It's just a little bit sweet, but also a little bit, a little bit spicy. I love that place.
Yes.
And their pizza's fire.
Yes, that's awesome.
So good. So good.
Yes.
So good. Well, when we think about Ignite, Ignite is a conference for women. It started as a women in insurance, which is the industry I'm in, but it's moved to women in business and insurance. And really it did that because I had people come to me saying, the conference really isn't about insurance. It's really about elevating women. So why not include all women? And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, great idea. So a couple of years we expanded it. And this year I did something a little bit different in that I posted something on Facebook and said to my Facebook community, who knows of some speakers? And so your name came up. And I had the privilege of having a Zoom call with you to talk a little bit more about your background and your story. And our theme this year is rooted and resilient. And you have a lot of resilient stories that you've shared with me so far, but share with us a story of resilience that you think our guests and people that will be there will be drawn to.
Absolutely. There's so many. I would go with the one in 2017. So in 2017 was a dark time for me in my life. I had recently had 6 years sober. And when I went back out on drugs and alcohol, which was the heavy drugs, I'm talking alcohol, weed, meth, I was in a dark place where I didn't want to live anymore. I had felt like I had tried recovery. I tried the whole sober thing for 6 years. And I see it working for other people, but for some reason it didn't work for me. So I was suicidal. I would drive around with my seatbelt off intentionally, did high-speed chases. And in my mind was, if I go through the windshield, at least it's not suicide, because I was too coward to pull the trigger. And I would also do a lot of drugs. People say, chill, Alexis, chill. That's too much. You're going to overdose. And I'm like, that's fine. I don't want to be here no more, And then I kept calling back to my friends and family who were still supportive of me, and they kept telling me, you've done it before, you can do it again. And then I just felt like I was doomed. I didn't feel like I could. finally at 13 months in, I called back one more time because I had went to Dallas. I didn't want anybody to see me like that. So I called back and they were like, come on, you can do this. And I came back to prove them that it didn't work for me. So I was like, okay, I'm going to do it 1 year. I'm going to give it 1 year. I'm going to give it 110% this time. I had to be honest with myself. When I was sober for that 6 years, was I really in recovery or was I just in sobriety?
Oh, yeah.
And there's a
Love
difference.
that.
There's a difference. And that first 6 years, about half of that I was in recovery. But midways, I started just being straight in sobriety. I wasn't recovering. I wasn't working on childhood trauma, mental health. I'm dually diagnosed. I wasn't taking care of those things. So I came back and I said, I can give it 110% for 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
And needless to say, within the first 6 months of this stint, it outweighed the whole 6 years that I had the first time because I'm living in recovery. I'm living on purpose. I have a vision today. I'm on fire. So, and that resilience piece just shows that I got up and I tried it again, even though everything in me wanted to take my life.
Mm-hmm. Or give up.
Give up.
And what would you say were any of the tools you used every day when you woke up and made that active choice to not give up?
This don't sound a little crazy, but YouTube helped me out a lot.
Okay.
Honestly, YouTube, listening to positive things in the morning. I didn't come from a place where positive YouTube videos played. I came from music, trap music, country music, alternative music, and I always say, trap music make me want to go shoot somebody, country music make me want to go shoot my ex, and alternative music made me want to shoot myself. So it was just the vibrations. I started to realize, okay, when I listen to this type of music, it's not good for me. So let me listen to something else. So I started my days off with the Les Browns, the Tony Robbins, the Lisa Nichols, and they poured into me, the E.T.s, the Eric Thomases.
Yeah.
And they said things to me I've never heard no one talk to me. Like, you have it in you. You have abundance in you. There's greatness in you.
Yeah.
You got to get up. So I would start my day off every day with that. Throughout the day, I'm listening to gratitude. And my family thought I was crazy. I'm grateful for my legs. I'm grateful for my heart. It's something in my culture we don't experience.
Yeah.
So I start tapping into that type of thing. I'm like, oh, I feel good when I do this in the morning. I start praying. I found my higher power. I didn't have a higher power for a lot of years because I was raised to believe that God hated me because I'm gay. I was a sinner. So I was godless for a lot of years. But this time I came back and I listened to my 12-step program, as they put it, find a God of your own understanding.
Yeah.
So I started to do that. And I said, okay, God, I see you. You got me out of the hospital when I had liver damage.
Yeah.
That was God.
Yeah.
All the high-speed chases, times I could have been dead. So those are just a couple of tools that I use.
Yeah, I love that. So gratitude is a big part of my life. And, I wouldn't be sitting here today if it weren't for God. But gratitude was always about, I woke up today. So so many times I would ask people, how are you? And they'd be like, woe is me. I'm going through this. This didn't work out. My hair is not right, blah, blah, blah. And they would ask me and I would say, well, I woke up today. And it sort of reframed the conversation to be, wait a minute, if you're just grateful to have breath, why am I bitching about my bad eyelash day?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Everything is relative. The other thing I decided a long time ago was how we show up is a choice. So when I think about choices, I think about somebody had a choice on Facebook to put your name. I had a choice to talk to pretty much everybody that everybody listed. Of that list, I had a choice to choose you as one of the speakers. I did not choose all of those people. And I made that choice because the women of Ignite have either gone through similar challenge or have someone who has gone through similar challenge and may not know what to do. They may not know how to support that person. There's another woman that's going to be on a panel who went through something pretty horrific professionally. And when I asked her to be on the panel, she said, well, I don't know what to say. And I said, I want you to tell people what they could do to support people like you. Because a lot of times we don't have that. People don't reach out. If you think about even when someone passes away, there's a ton of people at the funeral. There's a ton of people for a couple weeks, and then everybody goes away. And you're left with your own loneliness, sadness, depression, etc. So when I talked to you, I thought this woman needs a platform. She needs a place that she can come and participate. And I'm going to back myself up and check myself a little bit here. What are your pronouns?
She, her.
Okay, good. And so I think it's really important to elevate. And the story you have to share is one that's really important. And so one of the things you mentioned is you don't experience this kind of positivity from a culture perspective. I have my own opinion about that, but I want you to lean into that a little bit. You're a Black woman, and talk to me about the culture that you were raised in, and then parallel that to the culture that you're trying to create for yourself and other women
Okay,
or people who are minority.
absolutely. So I was raised in an addict alcoholic home. Both parents addicted. Um, North Omaha. And the positivity of our culture was church.
Mm-hmm.
We go to church on Sundays, and that's when we got our positivity for the most part, except for like maybe holidays. We go and hang out with family and stuff like that. Other than that, it was traumatic. There's a lot of, I witnessed a lot of things as a youth, and I picked up a lot of those habits as well. Lots of parties, lots of bad things happening. And there was nothing positive about it. Nothing positive. Lots of yelling, lots of just emotional abuse. So when I hear someone on YouTube that I don't even know, I feel like they can see me and they pour into me, and I start to believe that I too can do these things that they're saying. That was new for me. While my family did say things like, "Oh, you're smart," "Oh, you're this," it wasn't the same. It didn't hit the same. So as far as, I'm sorry, the second question was?
Yeah, no, just culturally.
Culturally.
You talked a little bit about your upbringing, and I do think it's an important part of who we become. I also think it's an important part of who we choose not to become. And so we all have our childhood. And like some people say, your mother was a mother for the first time too. So my mother, I think about my relationship with her and how that went and the things that we talk about now as adults that we might have changed, but they may not have made me as resilient as I am. And so your culture, your family upbringing all have a role in that. So thank you for sharing a little bit more about that. It helps us understand who you are and, what your passion and journey looks like. So here you are, fast forward, you are sober. And so that in and of itself has a different feeling.
Sure does.
And you've also started to really put yourself out there in speaking and doing work that will generate money for you.
Thanks.
And so talk a little bit about how you are doing that.
For sure. So it started off with just doing lots of service work. In our 12-step program, we're taught to go help someone, not expect anything in return. So for years, I'm speaking in treatment centers in Douglas County Detox, and whenever asked to speak at meetings. And I just did it because I know that was what I was supposed to do to help other people, and in turn, it helped me as well. We call it like an insurance on our recovery. I found out about Next Level Speakers Academy, and I went to their conference this past June, and I joined their Speakers Academy, where they're showing me how to actually take my speaking career and make it into, or I can make money, make it into a business, and that's what I've been doing. And they're saying, you speak a lot, but no one knows you. Start recording. Start taking audio if you can't record. Start putting it on YouTube. Start putting it on the social media. So that's what I'm learning to do and get that out there. And then I also have a program that I created in 2018 that I'm working on with a couple organizations to work with at-risk youth.
Yeah.
To help them.
Yeah. At-risk youth. I love that. And we have a lot of it.
Yes, we do.
We have a lot of kids who are aging out of foster care or had a home and don't now, and trying to basically separate them from what could happen to something else.
Absolutely. And that's the goal, is to try and, if I can reach, because for years I've worked with adults. It wasn't until this year that I realized I could work with the youth and reach them prior to them getting to where I got to in my life. So if I can just plant some seeds now, I know a lot of it is seed planting.
Yeah.
But no one did that for me when I was younger.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
part of our own growth is reaching back. So a lot of times that doesn't happen. The people who reached back to you were people you didn't know. They were the people that were speaking positivity into you.
Thanks.
The people who reached back for me, I think, were, my grandmother. She taught me things differently than my mother. my mother, of course, and then all of the women that I've worked with or men that I've worked with in my career who have pulled me forward, but also my own desire to want to learn.
Mm-hmm.
You know, how can I make the world better
Mm-hmm.
has always been something that's been heavy on my heart. And I feel like that's the case for you too.
That's good.
You
It
see things
is.
and want to make it better.
I do. And I want to talk on that reach back part just to clarify. So my family poured into me love in the best way they knew how.
Yeah.
I see it today as enabling. So they tried to get me off the drug. They tried to get me off the streets. But what they didn't know is that it made it worse by paying my bills, giving me money, stuff like that. So they reached back in their way. But
So
it
if
wasn't
you were the
effective.
parent and you had a child like you, which I think you do have a child,
do.
don't you?
Mhm.
What would you have done differently? Give me one thing that you would have done differently.
Natural consequences.
Yeah.
Natural consequences.
I love the natural
Your own.
consequences.
Did you figure it out on your own?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I shared with you when we spoke. I have 3 adult children, 28, 24, and 22. And my youngest child is, I believe he's an alcoholic. I haven't really shared that openly with a lot of people, but I'm not ashamed of that. That's his choice. He's an adult. But I have a boundary with him now because of some things that have happened. And he is staying close to my mom, and I love that. And for a long time, I was like, Mom, I want you to do this, this, and this with him. And then I sort of had to let that go because her role is his grandma. She's there to love him. She knows the barriers. She knows not to, give him loads of cash or things like that where he might not be equipped right now to make the choice that he needs to. But natural consequences I love. We all have, there is a reaction to every action. It's one of the key things they taught us in science class. Put eggs in a frying pan, they're going to change.
Yes.
Boil eggs, they're going to change.
Yes.
And so I love that. I think that's amazing. What messages are you going to bring to Ignite? Have you started to work on your content?
A little bit here and there, and I'm torn in between a couple.
Yeah.
Dying to the old self. Dying to, because that's what I had to do to get to where I'm at.
Yeah.
So that's one of them. No matter what you're going through, it may not be addiction, but dying to whatever it's that you have that's holding you back. Maybe it's procrastination. Maybe it's imposter syndrome. Maybe it's some addiction is not just substance.
Yeah.
Maybe you have other addictions. Maybe there's some characteristics that you need to get rid of. So I want to go deep in that one. I was thinking about that one.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Or down but not defeated.
Down but not defeated.
Yeah, because we've all been down, but we're still here today.
Yeah.
So we obviously weren't defeated.
Yeah.
So I'm going back and forth on those a little bit.
Yeah. So basically, if I could parlay that a little bit, I would say that you want our guests to leave with a message that, ain't no mountain too high.
Oh, no.
From
absolutely.
the song.
Yes. Mountain high enough.
And so I think when I see you and listen to you and hear your ideas, I'm like, it's a testament to there's nothing too high.
Facts.
Seriously, there's nothing too high that you can reach for that you can't attain. And so I think that will really resonate a lot with our guests that are going to be there. I'm very excited. How do you nurture resilience in others?
How do I nurture resilience? I'm always pushing people to be better. I actually think I'm a little too hard. Because I know that they have it in them.
Yeah.
So I don't know
you
if
see
you
it.
want to call it nurturing?
Yeah. Nurturing or kicking their ass.
There you go. Yeah. I'm like more of a hammer person. Yeah. Like, you got this. You can do this.
Right.
And, and I keep it 100.
Yeah.
Especially working in the treatment center for 7 years, 2 different ones. Like, I was at one for 2 years, one for 5 years. I was that staff member that didn't sugarcoat it. I was cool, Lex, I'm chill, but I'm not sugarcoating it. No, you're going to die.
Right.
Your kids are not, they're going to be in foster care. And instead of getting a graduation next week, we're going to buy you black. Because if you go out, that's what's going to happen. We're going to your funeral.
Right.
And so it's just pushing with realness. So I keep it 100 with them.
Real love.
Real love. Tough love. Tough love.
Yeah.
And a lot of
there's a balance, right? Because I think, I even feel it as a parent, you probably do too. It's like, I love you. And what you're doing right now is not okay. Or what you're doing right now is not going to get you the outcome you want.
Facts.
So I love all of that. That's awesome. How do you nurture yourself? Tell us about the sober bar a little bit too.
Oh,
So how you
detox,
nurture
sober
yourself?
lounge. So how do I nurture myself?
Yeah,
There's
what
two
do you?
different questions.
Yeah.
So
Answer that one first.
okay, therapy. So I'm learning to do lots of breath work, which is really super cool. Yoga. I'm working on losing weight. I've lost like 40 pounds in like 6 months. So I'm
Nice.
doing really strong.
Give me some.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I was actually gonna get something tailored for the conference. He was like, "We better wait closer to the conference because you're gonna lose some more, and we got to be tailored."
I love
So,
that.
yeah, just so I could feel better.
Yeah.
Live. I want to live. I didn't get off the drugs and alcohol to die of a heart attack or something crazy, high blood pressure.
Yeah.
So, nurture myself, with just prayer and just. I think that's probably about the gist of it.
Yeah. And tell us about your child. How old is a girl, right?
She's 23.
23.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So she's in the thick of the 20s are not fun.
No.
Are you still in the 20s?
Am I in the
Yeah.
20s for my own self?
Yeah.
Bless your heart. I'm 43.
Well, you couldn't be in the 20s if your child's
no,
20, though.
no,
But I'm
no.
like, well,
Bless
you're in your
heart.
40s because you look so young.
I am.
And I always say the 20s are terrible.
Mm-hmm.
They're like a time of confusion. Seriously. Like your friend circle changes because you're not in high school anymore. Your parents are like, okay, I'm about done with supporting you. And so you're left with this, holy shit, I'm going to be in the world and I need to figure this out. So how is it raising a 23-year-old?
So in full transparency, my grandparents raised her.
Okay.
She was taken from me at the hospital. So she never lived with me, but we do have a relationship today. So she's in college at UNO.
Awesome.
In the dorms.
Okay.
Yeah, so she's doing good. She's a product of really great people who raised her to be a great young woman that she's becoming.
Yeah.
So yeah.
How did the relationship, how did you start the relationship with her? Because she was probably a little bit older by the time you were in a place that you could have a healthy relationship with her.
Yes. So it was the first time I got sober. When I had the 6-year sobriety period, my grandparents finally trusted me enough to let her come stay the night with me and stay weekends with me. And we would look forward to hanging out on the weekends and in the summertime for days at a time. And that's what was one of the hard things is when I relapsed, just because I didn't want them to know that. I didn't want to hurt.
You were ashamed.
I was really ashamed, so I went to Texas. I was like, I don't want nobody to know. But when I came back and they found out and I got back sober again, then she's back in my life again. And we have a good relationship. We have a mother-daughter date. It's kind of awkward because I've never really been a mother to her, but I do. She does call me mom, and I do call her my daughter, but I don't know what it's like to be a full-time mom, you know? She's always been able to come on the weekends and go.
Yeah.
I'm going about my life, you know? So I'm being more intentional with spending time with her.
Yeah.
Hang out and get to know each other because she has a whole life that I didn't experience. And I have a whole life that she didn't experience. So kind of getting to know each other, you know?
Yeah. What's your toughest part of parenting?
Was trying to co-parent with my grandparents at one point.
I'm sure.
They were like enabling to let her get away with murder. I'm like, no, take the game system.
Yeah.
And I would take it and hide it. And they were like, we gave it back to her after 2 days. She was good. I was like, that's 2 days. Of course she wants her again.
Right.
Or take her phone.
She wasn't experiencing any pain.
No.
I'm like, sell the game.
Just sell it. Get rid of it.
I told my cousin recently because her daughter had a car accident. She just started driving and I said, can I offer you a perspective of someone who's already had 3 kids who've had accidents and et cetera, that I didn't do a good job of holding them accountable? She's like, sure. And I said, she needs to take driver's ed again. Like, you're going to take driver's ed until you learn how to drive carefully. And she's like, that's such a good idea. And I said, and she has to pay for it. And she can't drive till she does.
Wow.
And her car is going to have, you know, a device in it that knows how fast she's going and all the things. Because our kids, I feel like when our kids turn, you know, in the teens, 16 to be exact, there are lifelong consequences to the choices that they may make that are juvenile choices. You know,
True.
my son, my middle son got in trouble. And he, this past year, and I didn't even know what happened. He took care of all of it. He's 24. And when I did find out, I was like, well, what about this? And he's like, Mom, I'm 23 years old. I had to figure it out. I wasn't going to come to you. And I thought, well, I'm proud of you for that, you know, taking accountability. But why did you even do it in the first place? You know, like, don't be stupid.
Yeah.
And so, but I was proud of him because he took action. And so that probably is that's a hard parenting thing no matter what, is I think society enables them.
Oh, yeah.
And then as the parent, you're like, no, we are not doing that, you know? So that's great. Um, when you think about women that are making transition, whatever that transition might look like, whether they're leaving home for the first time or dealing with an addiction or changing jobs, careers, what advice would you give them in terms of, moving forward?
That's good. Get clear. Get clear on your vision.
Yes.
So need clarity. So I feel once you know exactly where you're going, even though it's not going to be a perfect shot there, at least along the way, whatever comes along the way, you'll know whether it's aligned or not, and can help you on your journey.
I love it. I have to get clear myself. When I had my call with you, I was with my former company. I am since no longer there.
Congratulations.
And launched my own employee benefit brokerage December 2nd, soft launch, and the full launch will happen January 19th. So the timing of all of this has been really interesting because the conference is going to come right after I launch, pretty much, March 3rd. And so I'll be able to share the story of resilience that, I didn't know I had.
Wow.
And I mean, I always knew I was resilient, but this one kicked me right in the neck. And so it's been hard, but I haven't allowed myself really to be like, woe is me, because you have a choice.
Facts.
You have a choice on how you're going to show up. You have a choice on what you're going to do next. You have a choice in who you're going to reach out to in your network to help you. And that kind of thing. What other spots in the community are you participating in terms of your give back?
So you mentioned earlier Detox Sober Lounge.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that came about, and the idea came about in 2019, leaving a 12-step meeting at midnight, and I was like, there's got to be something to do where I'm going to shoot pool, play darts, loud music, something, and there's not, because, there just wasn't it at all. I'm like, I don't want.
There are, but you don't want to go to the bar.
That's what I was going to say. I didn't want to go into the bar and be triggered to drink. So I was like, we need our own sober bar. So I found out that there were like 6 in the United States, 1 in Canada, and I flew out to Austin, Texas, and my sister went out there with me, and we met the owner of Sands Bar, and he told me, hey, I started with $600 doing pop-ups. So I'm like, well, I can do that.
Yeah.
So we did our first pop-up in January of 2020, and it was amazing. We didn't even have places for people to sit. I was sitting random people at random people's table, like, sorry, we don't know this person, but they're sitting there, like, it was packed, and I probably should have stopped people from coming, but I didn't know anything, new business owner. It showed me that it was a hit. People want sober fun. It was a comedy show with mocktails.
Have you seen the statistics about how much people are drinking less?
I have. I have.
Yeah.
I have. And it excites me. Every time I see it, it's like, we're waking up finally.
Yeah.
So, yeah, what else do we
They
do?
say it's just more people smoking weed, but whatever.
Yeah, I have my thoughts about that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, mind altering chemical is a mind altering chemical.
Yeah.
No matter what it is. So some people call that sober. I don't call that sober. But hey, if it gets you out, I do know people who get it off the meth and the crack, and now they smoke weed. So kudos to them.
Right.
Because they're not doing the hard stuff.
Yeah. Less altering.
It is less altering. So.
Well, there are people who go through periods of time when they're like, I'm going to be sober for, the month of January, so that they can,
November.
at least understand what that feels like and, lean into that a little bit. So that's awesome.
It is.
So if Ignite were a tree, what tree would it be to you?
I don't know a lot about trees.
I don't either, but our prior
give me some examples.
Well, a pine tree.
Okay.
It's huge, and their limbs are extremely resilient. So think about how long they live and how resilient they are. I don't know a lot about trees either. In fact, I had 3 trees removed from my house this year because I don't like homeowners claims. And I had those trees falling on my house. And I was like, okay, we're done with this. But that's what I think.
Okay. What about the tree that takes forever to pierce the ground? takes a lot of years, and you don't see it, and you have to be patient.
Yeah.
But when it goes, it goes.
Yeah.
I can't think of the name of that tree.
Oh, I didn't know there was a tree that was named like that. But
It takes forever to pierce the dirt because I've heard people reference it when they talk about patience.
Oh.
Being patient.
Yeah.
Because you don't see what's happening underneath the surface.
Yeah. So there's work happening, but you can't see the growth of it.
Yep. Keep watering it, keep nurturing it, and eventually there'll be a breakthrough, and it's unstoppable.
Love it.
I don't know the name of that tree, but
I'm going to look it up. Where can people find you? Where can our listeners find you?
For sure. So my website is AlexisLawsonSpeaks.com. And then my Facebook is Alexis Lawson Speaks. And my Instagram is Alexis Lawson Speaks.
Okay.
Yes.
So common theme there. What are you reading right now? Do you read?
Oh, multiple things. Right now I'm reading Journey Back to Self by Alicia Cotwell.
Okay.
She's actually local. It's
Oh.
a self-love book.
Love it. Love it. Journey Back to Self?
Yes, Journey Back to Self.
Okay. Let's check it out.
Good.
Okay, good. And what's your favorite restaurant in Omaha right now? You said Manja, but give me another.
Give you another one? Ooh, El Muchacho.
Oh, where is it?
It's off North 72nd Street.
El Muchacho, 72nd and what?
It's like off of Sorensen, where that Target is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's in that area. It's so fire.
Okay.
There's so many of them. I love food here.
Oh, me too. I love food, period.
Food.
I'm going to Des Moines tomorrow to do a baking day with my cousin on Friday.
Nice.
So Christmas baking.
Okay.
So what we do is we make our list. She's more of a candy person. I'm more of the cookie person. But I like candy, and so we swap out. But we make our list of things, and then what we used to do is we used to mix it all together when we were together. But now, on the cookie side, I make all the doughs, and then I take the doughs, and then we do all the things with the doughs. So like one of the doughs I made last night was ginger snaps, my grandmother's recipe.
Okay.
And you make little balls, you roll them in sugar. So the dough is just in a container now, and so we'll ball it and do all the things.
Nice.
Listen to Christmas music, laugh. She's good for some good appetizers, and she is one of my best friends. We've known each other since we were little kids, and so we're going to go to a nonprofit luncheon tomorrow.
Nice.
For a new organization in Des Moines that she's supporting, and then they have a dinner, so I'm doing that with her, and then on Friday we're baking all day.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds like a busy week.
Yeah, I'm stoked up about it. Well, thank you so much for being here today. We appreciate it. We like we love your story. I'm so excited for you to be at Ignite. I'm so excited for everybody to learn more about you and all the great work that you're doing. And, I would just say, don't stop. Keep on moving forward. And if ever I can support you, I want you to do that.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
For everybody listening today, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so that you are notified when new episodes launch. And don't forget to check out Alexis. She's doing great work here in Omaha, continuing to expand the need for places where people can have a good time, shoot pool, play darts, sober. And I look for her to do great things in this world. So please check her out. Thanks, everybody, for joining. Thanks, Alexis.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.